जय। नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंदा, श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीला गुरु महाराज की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. This is Chinmay Vrajapriya Devi Dasi welcoming each one of you to our Bhakti Sangha mid-morning session. May we know who all have joined today so that we can greet you.
Hare Krishna Chinmay Vrajapriya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Gauranga ki jai, and all the assembled devotees. This is Shivani from Ashram, Virginia. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for all your wonderful services. Thank you for being here every day. Welcome, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Chinmay Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devdasi from College Station, Texas.
Hari Bol, Vinita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for all the services you do in Bhakti Sangha. And welcome, Mataji, to today's session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Chinmay Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Vrunda from Atlanta, Paniyati Dham.
Hari Bol, Vindra Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for joining every day. Thank you for encouraging each one of us. Welcome, Mataji, to today's session.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashmati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago. All glories to your wonderful services and classes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Yashomati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for all your services and always being here, encouraging all the devotees here. And welcome, Mataji, to today's session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Chinmay Mataji, Dandavat pranams to you, Dandavat pranams to all devotees here. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Sumi from Chennai, India.
Hare Krishna, Sumi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for joining Bhakti Sangha from whichever part of the world you are in. So thank you so much and welcome, Mataji, to today's session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Uma from Portland, Oregon.
Hare Krishna, Uma Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for your beautiful recitation of Bhagavad Gita. Thank you for joining every day. And thank you for all your services. Welcome, Mataji, to today's session.
Hare Krishna Mataji and all assembled devotees, my humble obeisances to all of you. I'm Sudhakar joining from Saudi Arabia, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Sudhakar Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for all your services and thank you for joining all our sessions. Welcome, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Archana Bhakti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for giving your precious time and being here. And we are so happy to have you back to back. Very nice, Mataji. Welcome. And Mataji, with your permission, shall we read Srila Prabhupada's quote and then hand over the call to you?
Yes, Mataji.
So the quote is, Emperor Akbar, his chief minister was Todarmal. Todarmal is Hindu. The Muslim emperors used to employ Hindus as chief of department. They did not believe Muslims to become the chief. They knew it very well that these Muslims are not reliable. They can kill their father even. This was instructed by His Divine Grace at New Delhi, August 24th, 1975. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we are very thankful to you, Mataji, for being here and glorifying the Supreme Lord. Today Mataji will be talking on Chaitanya Mangal Sutra Khanda, second chapter, from texts 534 to 548. So we are eagerly waiting, Mataji. Please take over. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Chaitanya Mangal ki jai Srila Lochan Das Thakur ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. My humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Thank you very much for joining in this morning's Chaitanya Mangal session. So we are in the Sutra Khanda. A quick revision of the background, of the context. So on the order of Lord Jagannath, Narad Muni was on his way to Golok Vrindavan Dham. First, he went to Vaikuntha, and there Lord Narayan also glorified Lord Gaura and inspired Narad Muni to go to Mahaprabhu's place. Then Narad Muni, singing on his veena in great ecstasy, arrived at Golok Vrindavan Dham. And what did he see there in Golok Vrindavan Dham? He saw that everybody there was in great transcendental love, in ecstatic love for the Supreme Lord. And you know, the way we read in Brahma Samhita, the description of the spiritual world, the Narad Muni saw that every tree was a Kalpavriksha tree, and the ground was made of Chintamani jewels. Everyone was full of, you know, they were Satchit Ananda, right? Full of bliss, full of knowledge. Every cow was a Kamadhenu cow. And there he saw a peerless jewel platform, on top of which was a golden throne, on which was seated Lord Gauranga. And to his left was Srimati Radharani, to his right was Rukmini Devi, with their respective associates. Srimati Radharani was accompanied by her gopis, and Rukmini Devi by her friends or other wives of Krishna. And then we saw how they performed the Abhishek of Lord Gauranga. And also after the Abhishek, we saw Satyabhama, Queen Satyabhama. She brought many garlands, many gifts were brought by all the hundreds and hundreds of goddesses of fortune. And they offered divine gifts to the Lord. Then also we saw that it is the same Lord. Here in Goloka, he was two-handed, whereas in Vaikuntha, he appears with 4 hands. And now his complexion is golden, but in Vaikuntha it becomes dark. Narad Muni gazed at this beautiful form of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who is decorated with the jewels of his transcendental qualities, with the jewels of his transcendental virtues. And seeing the beautiful form of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Narad Muni became overcome with love for him and fell down on the lotus feet of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And he was gazing at the beautiful form of the Lord with unblinking eyes. And he was bathing the lotus feet of Lord Gauranga with his tears. So then we have to start what happened after that. That is text 534. And let me share the screen. Acha. Okay. Then I'll just read it. It's fine.
We'll give
Text
you host, Mataji.
Oh, okay, Mataji.
Kirtida Mataji. It's done, Mataji.
Thank you. स्नान समापिया पहु हासी कोहे लहु लहु नारदे तुलिया लोइलो कोले गुचिला संशय चिंता खंडिला मनेर व्यथा प्रिय प्रभु लहु लहु बोले स्नान समापिया पहु हासी कोहे लहु लहु नारदे तुलिया लोइले कोले. So, Srila Narad Muni was weeping tears of love for the Lord and bathing the Lord's lotus feet with his tears. And he was there at the lotus feet of the Lord. He had fallen in Dandavat obeisances in front of the Lord. And he was shedding tears of love, bathing the lotus feet. And Snana Samapya. So after the snana was completed, right, or when he's being bathed, when his lotus feet were, so first of all, his Abhishek was performed by Srimati Radharani and Rukmini Devi, and so that snan was completed. But now looking at his beautiful form, Narad Muni is bathing the lotus feet of the Lord with his tears. So at that time, what did the Lord do? Snana Samapya Pahu, Hasi Kohe Lahu Lahu. Lahu means gently. So Lahu Lahu means very gently, gently. He spoke while smiling. Hasi Kohe, while smiling, he began to speak very gently. Hasi Kohe Lahu Lahu. And Narade Tuliya Loile Kohe, Kole. So he picked up Narad Muni and sat him in his lap. Gauranga Mahaprabhu picked up Narad Muni, who was at his lotus feet, and placed him on his lap with so much affection. Guchila Samshaya Chinta. At this point, Narad Muni's doubts and his concerns, his fears were all destroyed. When Mahaprabhu picked him up and placed him on his lap, whatever doubts or whatever fears and concerns that Narad Muni may have had, they were all destroyed. Guchila samshaya chinta, khandila manera vyatha. And the anxiety, the pain that he was feeling, what was the pain that Narad Muni was feeling? If you remember, that's the theme from the very beginning of Sri Chaitanya Mangal. Narad Muni's compassion. He saw the condition of the people in Kali Yuga. First of all, he foresaw what would happen. And then he actually saw, after he went to Kailash and he went to Brahmaji's planet, and when he came back to the earth, he saw already the symptoms of Kali Yuga were manifest. There was no religion being practiced. So at that time, he became very thoughtful. What's going on? Huh? Then he heard this Akashvani, that was Lord Jagannath speaking to him, guiding him to go to Jagannath Puri. When he went to Jagannath Puri, he fell at the lotus feet of Lord Jagannath. For what? For you, me, for all of us. His anguish, his pain was for all the people of Kali Yuga who are being tossed in the waves of materialism. So that was his anguish, that was his pain. And Lord Jagannath told him to go to Goloka, and that he himself would appear in Kali Yuga as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now Narad Muni is here. So what is the anguish in his heart? The pain that he was feeling. How these people will be delivered. That is the only pain that Vaishnavas have. Time and again we see. They don't have any prayers for themselves. Their only prayer is for the people who are not devotees. How can, because without devotion, everyone is suffering. Without Krishna consciousness, everyone is suffering. So their only pain is how these people can become Krishna conscious. Prahlad Maharaj's prayers are the same. Parikshit Maharaj's prayers are the same. And Narad Muni's prayers are the same. Srila Prabhupada's prayers are the same. This is how a pure devotee prays. And that is the pain in the heart of a pure devotee. Para dukkha dukkhi. So, but now, when he is picked up by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Khandila Manera Vyatha, all his pain, anguish was destroyed. Priya Prabhu Lahu Lahu Bole. And at this point, dear the Lord began to speak very, very gently to Narad Muni. The Lord, who is very dear, began to speak very, very gently. Priya Prabhu Lahu Lahu Bole. Gently, gently he spoke to Narad Muni. What did he say? 535. Sorry. It's not the Lord who spoke. Narad Muni is speaking. Okay. So Narad Muni was crying, weeping. And then the Lord picked him up and placed him in his lap. Now Narad Muni got assurance. All his doubts were destroyed. And his manera vyatha, the pain of his heart, was also destroyed. Then he began to speak to the Lord. The Lord, who is very dear, Priya Prabhu, Lahu Lahu Bole. Or here it is said, Narada, who is very dear to the Lord, gently, gently spoke. He began to speak. Narad Muni begins to speak. Muni Bole Mahaprabhu, Hena Aparupa Kabhu, Na dekhilu, na shunilu ami. Janama safala aji. Dekhinu amiya raji. Dhani dhani apana ke mani. Muni bole, that means Narad Muni is saying, Mahaprabhu, my dear Mahaprabhu, Hena aparupa kabhu na dekhilu, na shunilu ami. Aparupa, this wonderful form, this type of wonderful form, kabhu na dekhilu, I have never seen before. Na shunilu ami. I have never seen or heard of such a wonderful form as yours ever before. I've never heard of it, nor have I seen a form, or I've never seen anything like this. Such a beautiful darshan that I'm getting now. I've never seen a form like this, nor have I ever heard of a form like this. Janama Safala Aj. By seeing this form, my life has become successful today. Dekhinu Amiya Raji. What am I seeing? I have seen Amiya Raji, a flood of nectar. Your form is not just nectar personified, it is a flood of nectar. It is as if I'm drowned. I'm drowned in the flood of nectar, right? That's how I'm feeling by seeing your wonderful, wonderful form. And by seeing this, my life has become successful. Dhani dhani apanake mani. By seeing this form today, I feel like I am the wealthiest person. Dhani dhani, right? I am the richest person. He's saying twice. Dhani dhani apanake. I consider myself the wealthiest person after getting darshan of this beautiful form. Muni bole Mahaprabhu, hena apar rupa kabhu, na dekhilu na shunilu ami. Janama safala aji, dekhinu amiya raji, dhani dhani apana ke mani. 536. Brahmadi na jane tatva, avatara avidita, achintya boliya boli toma. Jyotirmaya bole ke ho, मुखे न निर्वचे से हो कोही बारे नाही को उपमा ब्रह्मा आदि ना जाने तत्व. So this beautiful form, this wonderful form of yours that I'm seeing today, I haven't seen anything like this before, nor have I ever heard of a form like this before. And by seeing this form, I'm considering myself to be the wealthiest person. Even Brahma, and what to speak of other demigods, because Brahmaji is the person who received all Vedic knowledge directly from the Supreme Lord. And then from Brahmaji, it is transmitted to everyone else in this universe. Even Brahmaji himself does not know the truth about this form of Gauranga that I'm seeing now. Brahma Adi na jane tattva. They don't understand your tattva. Brahma Adi, Lord Brahma and others, the demigods, they don't understand your tattva. They don't understand the truth about you. Avatara avidita. Avatara avidita. That means your avatars, you see, Lord Krishna is the original fountainhead. All expansions are emanating from Lord Krishna. Lord Gaura is exactly the same Krishna. So all avatars are coming from Lord Gauranga. Brahma and other demigods cannot understand the truth about the Supreme Lord, cannot understand the truth about Gauranga Mahaprabhu, similarly, all the avatars that are coming from him are not known to them. Therefore, I say you and your avatars are beyond the knowledge of individual souls. Nobody can know. If Brahmaji himself cannot know, what to speak of all others? Who can know? So, the Lord and his avatars, the truth about them is unknown. Who can know the Lord? Advaitamachyutamanadimanantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabhamatma Bhaktau. So the Lord cannot be understood by simply by studying Vedas. Vedeshu Durlabham. The Vedas are also not able to understand the Lord. This is a very important philosophical point. It is not that, just like you need to go to California, then you just get a road map in olden days. Or nowadays, you have your GPS, not even GPS. What is that now? Whatever. It just takes you there, right? But is it like that? You have the Vedas, you just study the Vedas, and then you'll find out, you just come to the conclusion that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and we should all surrender to Krishna. Is everyone who's reading Vedas, who's hearing Vedas, studying Vedas, coming to the same conclusion? No. Why? Because for us to understand Shastra, we need the mercy of the devotee. Otherwise, simply by learning Sanskrit, it's not like by learning Sanskrit and you read and the truth will be revealed to you. It's not like that. You won't understand the conclusion of the Vedas. And even if you hear the statements such as Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Jivara Swarupa Hoy Krishna Nityadas, the living entity is Dasa Bhuto Hare Hai. He's meant to be an eternal servant of the Supreme Lord. Even after you hear those statements from the Vedas, you will not get faith. You will not believe. You will not believe. Understanding is one thing. Oh, you understood the Sanskrit lines. This is what it is saying. But to actually believe, and then, so this is the sequence. Janati, Ichchati, Yatati. Janati, first step is to know. Ichchati, after knowing, then to desire whatever you have learned, to desire to be like that. And Yatati, and then to, after desiring, then actually making an effort, endeavoring. This is how one progresses. That's why the first step is to know. Therefore, we have to hear again and again. By hearing Janati, then you will get Ichcha. But where should you hear? You should hear from those who have that Ichcha and those who are endeavoring like that. And you have to hear from those who are pure devotees. Then you will also get, through them, you'll get their mercy. And by that, you will get the conviction. So, it's not that simply by studying Shastra, you'll understand the Supreme Lord. That's not happening like that. Anyway, Brahmadi na jane tattva avatar avidita. That is why knowledge about the Supreme Lord is not known to the individual souls. Even after studying Shastra, in the next few verses we will see, they are also studying Shastra. Somebody says the ultimate goal of life is Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti. Some other philosopher, after studying the Vedas, he says that, work is worship. Yes? Karma Mimamsa. Work is worship. Like that. Studying the Vedas, but they're coming to different conclusions. You have 6 darshanas, 6 philosophies. By studying Vedas, they're giving, of course, the sixth one is Srila Vyasdev. He gave us the Vedanta Sutras. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Right? And what is the commentary of Vedanta Sutra? Srimad Bhagavatam. What is Srimad Bhagavatam? Speaking about pure devotional service. So, in one line, it's not that by knowing Veda, by studying Veda, you'll immediately understand that I must surrender myself to Krishna. For that, you need the mercy of a devotee who is already surrendered to Krishna. Then, after that, through that mercy, and when you hear, now you will understand. Brahmadi na jane tattva avatara avidita. So the Lord and his avatars are not known. Achintya bolia bolito ma. That is why the Lord is achintya. Achintya, inconceivable. Yes, the Lord is inconceivable. And people have different opinions about the Supreme Lord. Jyotirmaya bole ke ho. Some say he's just effulgence. Jyotirmaya. Brahma Jyoti. He is impersonal Brahma Jyoti. Jyotirmaya bole ke ho. Mukhe na nirvache se ho. And they say that supreme absolute truth cannot be described in words, because after all, our words and our instruments are all material, and the absolute truth is transcendental. How can you describe the absolute truth with your material words, with your material senses? It is not possible. Therefore, it is not possible to know him. It is not possible to describe him. Some say like that. Kohi bare nahi ko upama. And there is nothing. You cannot compare the Supreme Lord with anything within my experience. You cannot explain the Lord with the words or analogies within our experience, because he is transcendental and all the things in this world are material. Words that we are using are material. So how you will describe the Supreme Lord? So it is not possible. But that does not mean, so he cannot be described, he cannot be understood. Therefore, there's no point in even trying to understand. It is true that the Lord is completely transcendental. His form is made of his internal energy, Swarupa Shakti, whereas our instruments are made of external energy. Our instruments are made of external energy, and the Lord's form is made of internal energy, which is far superior. And we ourselves, the living entities, are marginal energy. So the marginal energy with instruments made of external energy, how we will understand the Supreme Lord? It's not possible. That's true. However, when we receive the mercy of a devotee, a pure devotee, that mercy is nothing but the bhakti shakti of that devotee. When bhakti becomes mature, then that bhakti transforms as mercy towards the conditioned souls. That when love increases in the heart, love for Krishna increases in the heart, then by seeing the suffering, what is the suffering in this world? The suffering is lack of Krishna consciousness. By seeing because of lack of Krishna consciousness, when people are suffering, by seeing that, this heart which is filled with love for Krishna undergoes transformation. It undergoes transformation. It flows and it starts melting and it flows towards those suffering souls in the form of mercy. So those conditioned souls who receive this mercy from a pure devotee, actually they are now receiving that Swarupa Shakti of the Lord. That is why only by the mercy of a devotee can you begin your account of bhakti. Otherwise, you will never turn to bhakti without the mercy of a devotee. So now that mercy is nothing but Swarupa Shakti. With the help of that Swarupa Shakti, now you'll develop faith. You'll develop some faith in bhakti, some faith in the Supreme Lord. And as you keep hearing more and more about the Lord, about his glories, again and again, in the association of devotees, from the lips of pure devotees, when you hear again and again, what will happen? Your faith is becoming firmer, stronger. Yes? And when you get 100% faith in bhakti, then that is all you will endeavor to do. You will not have any other goals in life. How to improve my material status, or, I want to get liberation from this material world. All those things won't be there. You will endeavor only to do direct devotional service 24 hours, that too only for the pleasure of Krishna. So, we need the mercy of devotees to even begin. And after we begin to further progress also, we need mercy. We need mercy from devotees, because the Lord's mercy follows behind a devotee's mercy. When you receive a devotee's mercy, then the Lord's mercy is following behind that. So without that, you will not. And the mercy also, the mercy that you receive, if you're receiving from a pure devotee, then you will be inspired to do pure devotional service. If you receive mercy from a mixed devotee, you will be inspired to do mixed devotional service. And if you receive mercy from a jnani, you will be inspired to do jnana yoga. And then you will aspire for merging into Brahman. Or if you receive mercy from an Ashtanga yogi, then you will be inspired in Ashtanga yoga. This is how a conditioned soul travels. So that's why you find different types of transcendentalists. All are aspiring for the same object. The object is absolute truth. But some see the absolute truth as Brahman, others see as Paramatma, others see as Bhagavan. In Bhagavan also, someone is seeing him as Lord Narayan, someone is seeing him as Krishna. Someone is seeing as Ram, someone is seeing as Narasimha, as Kurma, like that. It's all because of the association, the mercy of the devotee that you get. The type of mercy you get, that's the type of practice you do. So, Jyotirmaya bole ke ho, mukhe na nirvache se ho, kohibare nahi ko upama. So, those who are aspiring for Brahman, they will say that that absolute truth cannot be described in words. And there is nothing that you can compare it with, because, nirvishesh, nirakar. So you cannot compare with any form or anything else which you have in your experience in this world. But is that a fact? No. Because the scriptures are also the Lord's mercy. The Lord's mercy is apara, unlimited, atarkya. It's beyond anything which your mind and intelligence, your mind can imagine. It's beyond your intelligence. You cannot imagine how merciful he is. He's always thinking, when he descends, he's delivering everyone, but he's also thinking about people who will come after his pastimes are wound up. And for their sake, he leaves behind Shastra. And from time to time, he sends his devotees to deliver these people. That is his mercy. So Shastra is also the Lord's mercy. So what is Shastra doing? Of course, it's not possible to, exactly compare the Lord with any material example. Still, somehow or other, to instill some faith in us. What type of faith? Enough faith so that we can start doing devotional service, bhajan. What is bhajan? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam. Like this. To start rendering devotional service to the Lord. To do devotional service, you need faith. To instill some faith, Shastra uses some logic. Shastra will give some examples from this material world. Because our minds are we are coming from a materialistic background now. Since Anadi, we've been in this material existence. So to accept that which is inconceivable to my mind immediately, it won't happen. Then Shastra will give some examples to satisfy your logical mind and intelligence. Shastra will give some example. And by taking that example, oh, it makes sense. Okay, so I must start doing bhajan, and I'll start. But that does not mean every statement in Shastra has to be answered logically. No. No. It's not possible to explain everything through logic because the Lord is transcendental. The spiritual world is transcendental. Some points Shastra will give some logical points to convince you. But that does not mean Shastra is obliged to you. And I will only accept those points which are explained, which can satisfy, right? Which can be a logic, which can satisfy my intelligence, right? Which can be explained through logic. Only those aspects of the Shastra I will accept, and those which cannot be explained through Shastra, I will reject. If somebody says like this, then he is called a cunning fox, a jackal or a cunning fox in Shastra. That means I will take certain portions of Shastra and I will reject the other portions of Shastra. You cannot do that. Shastra, whatever Shastra says is all true. So that's why, yes, you cannot just reject because some faiths or some, faiths, they say, you cannot chant the name of the Lord. It cannot be taken on your lips. You cannot take. Or someone else is saying, there is no name because the names that you chant, they're all material. So people have different opinions. Jyotirmaya bole ke ho, mukhe na nirvache se ho, kohi bare nahi ko upama. There is no analogy. But still, out of kindness, Shastra will give analogies. Yes, it cannot exactly, you cannot say. But just to give us some indication, some examples are given. With that, you'll be able to understand, oh, the Lord may be like this. And it will give you some faith. And with that faith, you'll start doing bhajan. It is by your bhajan, it is by your devotional service, by chanting Hare Krishna, by rendering direct devotional service. When the Lord is pleased by this, that's when truth will be revealed to you and to me. It's only by devotional service that the facts will be revealed to us. However, to get that faith, we have to hear Shastra, to get enough faith to start doing bhajan and take that bhajan as our life and soul. 24 hours you want to do that. Then we have to hear. Especially we have to hear Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and about the life and activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. 37. Keho bole parat para pradhana purushavara vicharina kore nirupana sarvamaya tora shakti dekhiya na paye mukti agochara tora acharana. Keho bole parat para, supreme se bhi supreme. He is greater than the greatest. Keho bole parat para. So these are all the opinions about Gauranga Mahaprabhu or the supreme absolute truth. What are the various opinions? Because what did Narad Muni say? My Lord, the living Brahma, even Brahma and the other demigods, they cannot know you. I myself have never seen a form like this before. I've never heard of a form like this before. Brahma, Lord Brahma and other demigods cannot know you. The living entities cannot understand you and your various avatars. They cannot understand, and then they come up with different ideas, different opinions, because they cannot understand you. So some people are saying you are Brahma Jyoti. Other people are saying that no words can describe you. Other people are saying that there is no simile, no metaphors. for you. You cannot be compared to any examples in this world. Keho bole parat par. Some people say you are greater than the greatest. Pradhana Purushavara. You are the principal, supreme person. Vichari na kore nirupan. However, when they say these statements, they are not able to establish it. That is why when you talk of a pure devotee, he has Prauda Shraddha. Okay, Drida Shraddha, pure devotee. So there are three types of faith. One is called Komala Shraddha, the other is Drida Shraddha, and the third one is Prauda Shraddha. What is the difference? Komala Shraddha means you have, after coming in the association of devotees, hearing about the Lord, by receiving their mercy, you get some faith. You get some faith. However, if somebody questions you, why you're doing what you're doing, you won't be able to, you're like a small sapling, a very tender sapling, which can be very easily nipped off. Your faith is very tender. So if some Mayavadi comes to you, or if anybody, right, your family members or neighbors, they will question you about some questions about bhakti, or they make some movies challenging what type of God is this, then you start doubting, you start questioning. Why? Because you don't have answers to those questions. And because you don't have answers to those questions, you will start doubting yourself also. This is the position of Komala Shraddha. Drida Shraddha means he has firm faith, Drida, right? He has firm faith, and that enough faith, firm faith, which is sufficient to drive you to do devotional service 24 hours. You will endeavor to do only devotional service. However, there is a difference between Drida Shraddha and Prauda Shraddha. Drida Shraddha person, he is convinced for himself. He will never give up his bhakti. He will do his bhakti. But if he faced a very powerful opponent like a Mayavadi, who is quoting from Shastra and challenging you and asking you to explain or prove things from Shastra, you may not be able, just like, let's say, you encountered Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya before he met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or you met Prakashananda Saraswati. Then a Drida Shraddha person may not be able to defeat that person in an argument. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. But these are like, very, very, they're like sharks, like very powerful in the Mayavad philosophy. So a Drida Shraddha person may not be able to answer. But that is not going to shake him in his own bhajan. He may not be able to satisfactorily answer or defeat the Mayavad philosophers. But that will not shake him from his bhajan. That's the point. That is Drida Shraddha. But what is Prauda Shraddha? Prauda Shraddha means he's Shabde Parecha Nishnataha. He's expert. He's expert in Shastra. That means he understands the Shastra very well. He can prove on the basis, by quoting Shastra, he can answer all questions and defeat all opposition. Plus, he can also explain it through logic. Shastric points he can explain through logic. Like you see Srila Prabhupada, he will give current examples about communism, socialism, materialism, Western culture, and he will prove Shastric points with the current examples. Isn't it? So, Prauda Shraddha means he can use logic also, but logic which follows Shastra. And he will prove and he will defeat. Prauda Shraddha. So, Shraddha is 3 different types. So, here what we are seeing is, Kehu bole, he is greater than the greatest. Oh, who is Krishna? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Wonderful. Can you establish that? Vichari na kore nirupan. They are not able to establish. They are not able to establish it. He is Pradhana Purusha. He is the best of all personalities. But I'm not able to prove it. I'm not able to establish. How to establish? Through Shastra or through logic. If you come across Buddhists, then they won't accept if you prove from Shastra. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said like this. In Bhagavatam, it is said like this. They won't accept. They may not accept. But if you prove through logic, then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his travels to South India, one Buddhist leader came to him. Then Mahaprabhu defeated him through logic only. He was not quoting Shastra. Because their whole philosophy is based on logic. So through logic, he defeated. This is one with Prauda Shraddha. Of course, Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But one who has Prauda Shraddha, either through logic, because he's completely well versed in Shastra. He can prove those points through logic also. But here we are seeing some people, they say, the Supreme Absolute Truth is greater than the greatest. And he is the Supreme Person. But Vichari na kore nirupan, they are not able to prove it. Through discussion, through Shastra, they are not able to prove. Sarvamaya Tora Shakti, dekhi ana paye mukti. Simply by seeing the Shakti of the Lord everywhere. Yes, whatever there is all around us is the energy of the Supreme Lord. In this material world, you'll find external energy, marginal energy. The material cosmic manifestation is a combination of external and marginal energy. External energy means the, Panchabhutas, right? The material bodies. And then there's the spirit soul, which is marginal energy, the living entities. So whatever you see, wherever you see, it's nothing but the Lord Shakti. By that, can you get mukti? By seeing the Shakti of the Lord everywhere, can you get liberation? Simply by seeing the energy of the Lord everywhere, you don't get liberation. You have to see the connection of the energy with Him. Simply by seeing Shakti, everyone is seeing Shakti. Even the scientists are seeing Shakti. Isn't it? Physicians, they're studying physics, surface tension, elasticity, electricity, magnetism, all this. This is all Shakti of the Lord. Are they all getting liberated? You have to see the connection of the Lord. Without bhakti, you cannot get mukti. You can do either jnana or ashtanga yoga or karma. Without bhakti, you don't get the results of those sadhanas. Simply by seeing the Lord Shakti everywhere, you are not going to get mukti. Sarvamaya Tora Shakti dekhi ana paye mukti. Agochara Tora Acharana. So the Lord's acharan, the Lord's activities, agochara, they are inconceivable. You cannot see. See, the Lord's activities are inconceivable, achintya. And Lord Krishna disappeared, apparently, when a hunter shot his toe. So people will say, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he died like this. What kind of a Supreme Lord he is? His activities are inconceivable. Whereas Uddhava saw the Lord just, sending away everything, winding up everything, and the Lord just, returning or ending his manifest pastimes. But to the ordinary eye, agochara, with these eyes you're not able to see. That's why Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, your eyes have to be anointed with the ointment of love, prema. Then Santah Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti, they can see within their hearts always. Yam Sham Asundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam, Sham Sundar, they'll see in their heart. When their eyes are anointed with love. How to get that love? For that, you have to do sadhana bhakti. Because when you do sadhana, seeing your sadhana, when the Lord is pleased, he will award you prema. By that prema, then you can see him. Then how to do sadhana? To begin sadhana, you need mercy of the devotee. And by the mercy of the devotee, actually to begin sadhana, you need faith. Dhrida Shraddha you need to do Shuddha Sadhana Bhakti. And that Dhrida Shraddha you'll get by, first of all, you need mercy of a devotee, and then you have to hear. By that hearing, whatever doubts you have, which are like demons, they're stopping your faith, not allowing you to do sadhana. Those demons have to be killed, or those doubts have to be resolved. Sarvamaya Tora Shakti Dekhi Ana Paye Mukti Agochara Tora Acharana. The Lord's Acharan is Agochara. Some say you are greater than the greatest, the supreme person. No one has the power to describe you completely. Gazing only on your all-pervading energies, one does not attain liberation. Your actions are beyond our understanding. Now, Sahasra Fana Ananta Napaiya Guneran Anta Dvijihva Dharilo Sabamukhe Napailo Gunera Ora Echana Thakura Gaura Kripa Bole Dekhilo Tomake. I don't know how much time we have, but this is where we have to begin our class today because Balaram Purnima is coming up, and this is the glorification of Lord Anantasesh. Sahasrafana Ananta. Ananta has thousands of fun, thousands of heads, hoods. Na Paya Gunera Anta. And what is Lord Ananta doing? With each of his mouth, he is singing. He is singing the glories of Lord Gaura. He is singing, describing the glories of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And he has thousands and thousands of heads. With this, each head he is describing a different glory of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, different pastime, different quality, different name, form of Gauranga Mahaprabhu he is describing. Since when? Since beginningless. He is describing. Still, even though he's been describing the glories of Ananta since beginningless, and with each of his mouth he is describing a different glory, he has not come to the end of the glories of Gauranga. In fact, it is said he hasn't even come to the end of describing the pastimes of Gauranga Mahaprabhu that he performs in one day. And very enthusiastically, Lord Ananta is glorifying Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Dvijihva Dharila Sabha Mukhe. Each mukha, each mouth has two tongues, right? Serpents have bifurcated tongues. Dvijihva Dharila Sabha Mukhe. In each mouth he has a bifurcated tongue. And with his each mouth he is Napaiya Gunera Anta. He is describing the wonderful qualities of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. To this day he didn't come to the conclusion. He didn't conclude. He's going on and on and on describing the glories of Lord Gauranga. Na pailo gunera ora echana Thakura Gaura kripa bole dekhila tomake. So, my Lord, you are such a personality whose glories are being described by Ananta. With his thousands and thousands of mouths, he is describing your glories. And to this day, he didn't come to a conclusion. You are such a Lord. That means you are so glorious. You're so wonderful. You're so unlimited. And I got to see you today. This happened only by your mercy. This is by the strength of mercy that I got darshan of you. It is only by your mercy. Kripa bale dekhilo tomake. It's by the strength of your mercy that I got to see you today. I have seen you today. Actually, what I wanted to do was, I know time is up. I will not torture you. But there is a lot of glories of Anantasesh described in so many different places. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, you will see there is a chapter, a whole chapter dedicated to the glories of Ananta, Lord Ananta. 5th canto, 25th chapter. There you will see that Sukadev Goswami is glorifying Lord Ananta, and Narad Muni is glorifying Lord Ananta. And also again in the same 5th canto, in the 17th chapter, which is the description of the different varshas. You see, in Jambudvip, there are different varshas. So one particular varsha called Ilavrita Varsha is the place of Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati. And there's no men there, only maidservants. There, Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi are constantly worshipping Lord Sankarshan. So there are many prayers like this, prayers offered by Lord Shiva to Lord Ananta, Lord Sankarshan. So that can be a class in itself, glorifying Lord Ananta. But yeah, since we are running short of time, if we have time in the end, maybe I can see, but let's continue for now. Je puna arati kore tuya pada अनुसारे नाना बुद्धि नहे एकमाता केहो बोले सर्वव्यापी सूक्ष्मवादी सांख्य योगी स्थूल सेवा कोरये भकता. So जे पुनः आरती करे तुया पदा अनुसारे. So नाना बुद्धि नहे एकमते. व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि एकेह कुरु नंदन. बहुशाखा ह्यनंताश्च बुद्धयो अव्यवसायिनम. Bhagavad Gita 241. Those whose intelligence is resolute, they have only one goal. They are determined. They don't have any doubts about maybe this and that. No, they see only one goal. Bahushaka hyanantascha buddhayo avyavasayinam. But those whose intelligence is irresolute, their intelligence is what is resolute and irresolute? There's no determination. There is no determination. So then they don't have determination, and then they will see so many different goals. Oh, this also, that also, that also. It's there, it's not clear to them. But when they are determined, where do you find determination? In which part of our subtle body? In intelligence, sankalpa, that is formed in the intelligence. So determination is very, very, very essential. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. This determination, dridhavrataha, is a symptom of pure devotees. Yes. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Always glorifying the Supreme Lord. Yatantascha, and they are endeavoring to do this. How they are endeavoring? Because they got that conviction. That is called Dridha Shraddha. When you get that conviction, then you will endeavor. Till your last breath, till your last drop of energy, you will endeavor. And you will see this in the lives of acharyas, in the lives of pure devotees. You will see this time and again in Srimad Bhagavatam and in real life also. They will endeavor. They have that determination. But if you are engaged in sinful activities, you won't get determination. Yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhavrataha. Dridhavrataha. Bhajante mam dridhavrataha. Who will do dridhavrataha? You cannot be engaging in sinful activities and also at the same time get determination to do devotional service. No. You want determination and devotional service, you have to give up sinful life. So, such people, ekamata. Ekamata means ekeha. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha. Kurunandana. Those who are determined, they have only one goal in life and they endeavor for that. Nana buddhi nahe. Not that, you know, it is irresolute and then they are saying so many things. I have to do this also, that also, that also. I have to find balance between my material life and spiritual life and all that. No, no, not like that. My material life is meant for spiritual progress only. No need to balance. Take care of material life also. No need. You adjust your material life for spiritual progress. Don't balance. Don't balance. Don't put them on the same weighing scale. Some for family, some for country, some for Krishna. Not like that. Exclusive. Sarva dharman parityaja. Mam ekam. That is Krishna's demand. Mam ekam sharanam braja. You surrender to me alone. Surrender required. That's the beginning of pure devotional service. Ye puna arati kore. Such people, what will they do? Those who have this type of surrender to the Supreme Lord, vyavasayatmika buddhi, those who have, what will they do? They do arati of you, my Lord, of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Tuya pada anusare. They are worshipping your lotus feet, following your lotus feet. They were performing arati to you all the time. Keho bole sarvavyapi sukshmavadi sankhya yogi stula seva koraye bhakata. And some other people, they say, oh, he is all pervading. Absolute truth means he is all pervading. And that absolute truth, that same absolute truth, he is realized by the Sankhya yogis through Sukshmavada. What is Sukshmavada? By analytically studying the 24 elements, this whole material creation. Of course, you have the living entity, but apart from that, there are 24 elements. Senses, gross elements, sense objects, mind, intelligence, like that. So, false ego, Mahatattva. So they say, some people say that, so Sankhya Yoga means you study these elements very scrutinizingly. And by studying this, you try to understand who is the cause of this whole creation. Like that. So some people say that the absolute truth is Sarvavyapi and he is realized by the Sankhya yogis through Sukshmavada and he is realized by the devotees, Thula Seva Koreye Bhakta. They worship him on a, gross level, they will worship. These people are subtly analyzing and they are performing worship on a gross level. But the object is the same. He is actually Sarvavyapi. Keho bole Sarvavyapi. They who have single-pointed intelligence offer arti to you and serve your feet. Their intelligence is not diverted into many parts. Some say you are. That means now someone else is. They're saying some say you are an all-pervading something, subtly worshipped by Sankhya yogis, grossly worshipped by devotees. Keho Veda anusare nitya dharma karma kore varnashrama dharma anukata. Vedanta siddhanta jayi samadhana nahi pai na bujhiya kohe nana mata. So keho Veda anusare, some people follow according to the Vedas, nitya dharma karma kore. So they will follow karma. You have how many types of karma? 5 types. Nitya karma, naimittika karma, kamya karma, prayashchitta karma, Nishiddha karma and prayashchitta karma. Once again, nitya karma, nitya, naimittika, kamya, nishiddha, prayashchitta karma. 5 types of karma. So nitya karma means karma that is prescribed for you according to your particular varna and ashram, what you should do. For example, if you're a brahmana, your nitya karma would be doing sandhya vandanam, like that. And what is naimittika karma? Naimittika karma means it's not done daily. Nitya karma means it's done daily, every day. Regularly it is done. Every day it is done. Naimittika means samskaras, which are done occasionally. But they are also prescribed. They also... Nitya karma you have to do. If you don't do, you get a reaction, consequence you have to face. You have to do every day. Naimittika karma also you have to do. But if you don't do, there is no consequence. Like that. So naimittika karma means samskaras that you do. Vivaha samskara, for example, like that. And then what is kamya karma? Kamya karma means the karma that you do, yagyas that you perform, expecting some material result. Putreshti kama yagya. You're doing one yagya to get a son, like that. Kamya karma. And then, so is this required? No, it's not required to do. Kamya karma is not required, but according to need, people do. If they want something, they'll do. And then what is nishiddha karma? Forbidden karma. You should not do. And then prayashchitta karma means if somehow or other you did some nishiddha karma, then how to atone for it. That is prayashchitta karma. So people who following the Vedas strictly adhere to their nitya dharma, karma kore. Following their nitya dharmas, they are doing their karma. Following varnashrama dharma. By that, will they realize the absolute truth simply by following varnashrama dharma? Will they understand Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead? No. Bhakti comes from bhakti only. It doesn't come from karma. It doesn't come from jnana. It doesn't come from anything. It comes only from bhakti. Where is that bhakti coming from? Where is that bhakti situated? In the heart of the devotee. Bhakti is situated in the heart of the devotee. So when you receive mercy from a bhakta, that's when you will get bhakti. Then you may say, then what's the use of this varnashrama dharma? Why you're talking so much about varnashrama dharma? If we need only bhakti, we can. Yes, if you do only bhakti, then do only bhakti 24 hours. You don't need any varnashrama dharma. But if you're doing 2 hours of bhakti and 22 hours of vikarma, then don't do vikarma. Instead of vikarma, you do varnashrama dharma. Because vikarma puts you in the modes of passion and ignorance. Passion and ignorance is same, Yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dvanda moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhavrataha. You will not get determination to do in devotional service. On one, it's like you're trying to light fire in a yagya, and on the other hand, you're pouring water. And you're thinking that now I'm going to light a nice fire and a big fire will come. It won't come because you're pouring water at the same time. That's why we need. But if you can do, if you got Dridha Shraddha, 24 hours, if you're able to, you got that type of faith in bhakti, day and night, you're constantly either chanting or remembering, you're doing that all the time. And that also you're doing only for the pleasure of Krishna. You don't need any varnashram dharma. Even though you don't need, still, our acharyas followed it. The Pandavas, were they not pure devotees? Why they were following Kshatriya dharma? To set example to the ordinary people in this world who didn't get faith. By seeing you, they will learn, oh, we have to live in the mode of goodness. We should not do ugra karmas. We should not do vikarmas. By seeing you as a leader, they will follow. By that, what is the advantage? At least it keeps you in the mode of goodness. That's all. It keeps you in the mode of goodness. So if you're in the mode of goodness, then it supports your bhakti. You will get that determination to carry out your devotional service. That's why. So otherwise, simply by doing varnashrama dharma, following varnas and ashramas, you're going to realize Krishna. No. Keho Veda Anusare Nitya Dharma Karma Kore Varnashrama Dharma Anugata Vedanta Siddhanta Jai Samadhana Nahi Pai Nabujhiya Keho Nana Mata. And what about others? Some follow Vedanta. So again, Vedanta, what is the purpose? What is the anta? What is the conclusion? What is the essence of the Vedas? Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyaha. You're supposed to learn. Come to the conclusion of surrendering to Krishna by studying the Vedas. Instead of that, you study Vedanta according to Advaita philosophy, Shariraka Bhashya, commentary. You study according to that, you come to the conclusion of impersonal liberation. And also, the form of the Lord is material. It's made of the material mode of goodness. Finished. You'll go to hell. Vedanta Siddhanta Jai Samadhana Nahi Pai. You cannot come to the conclusion like that. Na bujhiya keho nana mata. And then you end up following so many different philosophies. You're studying Vedanta. His Holiness Shankaracharya has given us, Sripad Shankaracharya has given us one Advaita philosophy, and his followers gave hundreds and hundreds of branches under that. And Amongst them also now they are fighting. My philosophy is better than your philosophy. Nana bujhiya, na bujhiya keho, kohe nana mata. They don't understand what is the ultimate goal of life, and they come up with so many different philosophies. Become followers of many different philosophies. Not understanding you in truth, they become the followers of many different philosophies. 541. अन्योन्य विरोध केने इहा नहीं अनुमाने कोहे पुनः एकाई अद्वैता. अन्योन्य विरोध केने. Why they are debating with each other? Why they are fighting with each other? My philosophy is better than yours. Mine is true. Yours is false. And then they try to defeat each other. Why? Why do they ferociously debate amongst themselves? Anyonya virodha kene iha nahi anumane. Ye baat, this truth about the Supreme Lord cannot be understood by anuman. Anuman means what? By logic. By logic, you cannot understand. Tarka apratishtanam. Tarka has no pratishtha. This is said in Mahabharata. Tarka has no pratishtha. Pratishtha means it has no glory. It has no importance. If you really want to come to the conclusion of what is the goal of life, about who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, can you just gather all the people in the world and have a debate, and then through debate, can you come to the conclusion about who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, about what is the highest means to achieve the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Can this be achieved through debate? No. Spiritual matters cannot be understood through debate and logic. I mean, you cannot conclude. You cannot conclude. You have to accept Shastra. Whatever tarka is used is to make you come to Shastra, make you accept what is said in Shastra. And by accepting what is said in Shastra, what should you do? You should start rendering devotional service. That's all. You have to start. But the wonderful thing for us is when we are reading Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Bhagavad, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, this is also devotional service. This is not first you have to study and then you will do bhajan. This itself is bhajan. That is the wonderful thing. So as we are trying to understand, as we are hearing, our faith is becoming firm, but this is also bhajan, Shravanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So Shravanam is happening. And also our faith, whatever doubts are there, they will be resolved when you contemplate on that. You have to contemplate on what you hear. And if you get some doubts, you have to resolve them by hearing again, by asking questions. Then those doubts will be removed. And doubts are removed means your faith is becoming stronger. Otherwise, simply by debate, you're going to come to any conclusion. Iha nahi anumane. This subject cannot be understood simply by anuman. Anuman means by logic. You cannot understand. No. Kohe puna ekai advaita. You just come to the conclusion. It is all one. Advaita. Sarvam khalvidam Brahma. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Like that. After all that debate, by your logic and everything, you just come to this conclusion. Nabuji tomara marma, paksha dhari kore karma. So they don't understand. Tomara marma. Marma means, secret. That means the Lord is inconceivable. By debate, you are going to understand the Lord. Nath buji tomara marma, paksha dhari kare karma. Paksha dhari. Paksha mane, you take one side. Right? There are different, you take two, because when there is debate, there has to be two parties. You take one side and then you start doing your activities. By that, by logic, by debate, you're going to understand the Supreme Lord. Na buji tomar marma, pakshak dhari kore karma, tora katha sabha avidita. Unknown. You are completely beyond people's understanding. Because you see, my dear friends, my dear devotees, whatever we are trying to understand with my intelligence, with my mind, this is all, after all, made of the external energy. Krishna his activities, his everything is transcendental, spiritual energy. Simply with your material intelligence, how with the material intelligence or material energy, how one is going to grasp Swarupa Shakti? You cannot. That's why you need mercy, you need bhakti. Absolutely, you need mercy. Without that, there's no way. You can go on debating lifetimes after lifetimes. You'll never understand. ना बुझी तोमार मर्म पक्ष धरी करे कर्म तोरा कथा सब avidita. It's unknown. Your katha is unknown to everyone. एबे पद परसादे निरवधि प्राण कांदे छाड़ी इहा प्रकृता मूर्ति पुनजनमीये आरा कोरी कृष्ण संसारा आचरिये एई प्रेम भक्ति. So what is Narad Muni's prayer? Ebe pada parasade. Now I got your mercy, prasad. I got the mercy of your lotus feet. Niravadi pranakande. By receiving this mercy of your lotus feet, continuously my prana is crying. Prana, my very life breath is weeping in ecstasy. Niravadi, without stop. Niravadi prana kande. Why? This is love. How you got that? By your mercy, my Lord. By the mercy of your lotus feet. Now my heart is crying continuously. My life air is crying continuously. Chadi iha prakrita murati. Chadi iha prakrita murati puna janamiya ara kori Krishna samsar. बोल रहे हैं, Narad Muni is saying that now I want to give up this body, this life. And I want to get another birth. Where? Kori Krishna samsar. I want to take birth in the family of Krishna's devotees. Achariye ehi prema bhakti. And by living in the, by taking birth in the family of devotees, I will be trained, I will be taught in bhakti. Then I will get prema for you. So now I want to give up this body. Of course, Narad Muni's body is already transcendental. Otherwise, how he is in Golok Vrindavan Dham? But we read it elsewhere also. Actually, we read it already, right? When Narad Muni, or maybe it will come in Shvetadvip. I'm not sure. I'm not able to recollect. But when he goes there, he sees all these devotees are engaged in the service of the Lord. And, they're already liberated. The devotees in the spiritual world are all liberated. But still, they are very, very attentive to their services. In this material world, what happens? In the material world, when you have fear of authority, then you are carrying out your duties very attentively, isn't it? That if you don't do properly, there will be some consequence, there may be some punishment, you may not get your salary, whatever. So out of fear, very attentively you're doing. But there in the spiritual world, the devotees are all completely liberated. Yet they are doing so attentively everything. It feels as if, they are conditioned souls. Out of fear they're doing. But they're not doing it out of fear. They're doing it out of taste. But they're so attentive, so alert, and they're doing. So Narad Muni, when he goes there seeing these devotees, he's thinking that they're already liberated devotees, but they're doing as if they're still conditioned like that. So, yeah, let's get back. So Narad Muni. So Narad Muni is an already liberated soul, but he's saying, now I want to give up this Prakrita Murti, this material body. Chadi iha Prakrita Murti, puna janamiya ara, puri Krishna samsara. I want to give up this material body and take birth again in a devotee family, Krishna's devotees family. Acharye ei prema bhakti. And by that, I want to achieve, I want to worship you with love. I want to achieve prema for you. Then I will be able to worship you with loving devotion. Echana Naradavani Shuni Kohe Gunamani. Krishna, Gaurang Mahaprabhu heard Narad Muni say this. I want to give up my material body and I want to, take birth in the family of devotees, and then I want to do Prema Bhakti. So hearing this, Kohe Gunamani, look at this, Gauranga, Nitai Gunamani, Amar Nitai Gunamani. There's a bhajan, right? What is Gunamani? Guno ka mani hai. He is the, you are decorated with jewels, transcendental jewels, money, right? So just like Kaustubha Mani, the Lord wears in his neck, the necklace has this locket of Kaustubha Mani, like that, a precious jewel. But what is the precious jewel? The wonderful gunas, transcendental qualities of the Lord are like jewels, and he's decorated by those wonderful transcendental qualities. So hearing Narad Muni's words, Gunamani is saying, that means Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who is the ocean of wonderful qualities, he's saying, Chalo, 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 Muni Raja. Chalo, 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 Muni Raja. Go, go, go. Oh, best of the Munis. Oh, best of the sages. Go now. Go, go, go. Kalilo kanistaribo. Nija bhakti pracharibo. Janamibo. Nadiya maja. Come on now. Go, go. Oh, best of the sages. Narad Muni. Now you go. Kaliloka nistaribo. I am going to deliver the people of Kali Yuga. Nija Bhakti Pracharibo. I am going to spread, or I am going to distribute my love or bhakti towards me. I am going to come and personally distribute bhakti for me. What type of bhakti Mahaprabhu is going to distribute? Prema. Narad Muni said, right? I want to take birth again in a devotee family to get prema. So Mahaprabhu is saying, go, 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 Narad Muni, I am coming. I am coming to deliver the people of Kali Yuga, and I am going to distribute that prema bhakti. I will personally come and distribute that prema. Janamibo Nadia Maja. I will take birth in Nadia, in the district of Nadia. I will take birth. Prithivi chalo ho tumi, Shweta Dvipe achi ami, Balarama name sahodara, Ananta Jahara amsha, Ekadasha Rudra vamsha, Seva kore Mahesha Ishwara. So Prithvi chalo ho tumi, you go to the earth planet, my dear Narad Muni. Shweta Dvipe Achiyami. I am residing in Shweta Dvip. So now, where is this conversation going on? It's going on in Golok Vrindavan. So Mahaprabhu is saying, you go to Shweta Dvip. Which Shweta Dvip? So in the universe, every universe has a Shweta Dvip. Of course, Golok Vrindavan Dham is also called Shweta Dvip. But here, particularly, Mahaprabhu is talking about, so he said you go to the earth planet. So you'll go into the universe. And in the universe, there's Shweta Dvip, right? Shweta Dvip is where Kshirodakshay Vishnu resides. So the Lord is saying, Prithvi chaloho tumi Shweta Dvipe achi ami. I am there in Shweta Dvip. I am there in Shweta Dvip. Balarama name sahodara. So I am there in the form of Balaram. And Balaram is my brother. This is Achintya. The Lord and his expansions are non-different. It is him only coming in different forms. But at the same time, they are different also, different forms. So there is a relationship with them. He is the master and they're all servants. But it is him only. Ekale Ishvara Krishna Arasabha Bhritya. Yes? And Balaram is the immediate expansion of Lord Krishna. Or Nityananda Prabhu is the immediate expansion of Lord Gaura. So Prithvi chaloho tumi Shweta Dvipe achiyami Balarama name sahodara. I am there in Shweta Dvip, and there my name is Balaram, and Balaram is my brother. Ananta Jahara Amsha, and his expansion is Ananta Sesh. Ekadasha Rudra Vamsha Sevi Kore Mahesha Ishvara, and he is worshipped by the 11 Rudras, and he is worshipped by Lord Shiva. Shiva and the 11 Rudras worship and serve him there. So, not serve him there, they serve him in Ilavrita Varsha. But in Shwetadvip, Balaram is residing. So, who's residing Shwetadvip? Kshirodakshay Vishnu. So, why Mahaprabhu is saying Balaram? So, time is short. what to do. But in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will see Adi Leela 5th chapter, the glories of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. There you will see that that same Lord Balaram, he expands. He's so enthusiastic to serve Krishna that he expands himself in 5 other forms. What are those 5 forms? First is Sankarshan, then Karanodakshaya Vishnu, then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, then Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, and the 5th one is Anantasesha. So, can you call Anantasesha as Balaram? Yes, you can call Anantasesha as Balaram. But Anantasesha is just an expansion of the expansion of the expansion of Balaram. How can you say, call Anantasesha as Balaram? Because devotees call like that. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I accept whatever devotees say. And actually there is no fault. Because it is not like material calculation, right? Now you have one full pizza and you take one slice of that. And can you call that one slice pizza? Yeah, it is one slice of pizza and you call it pizza too, but it's not the whole thing, right? That's your material calculation. It's a fraction. But is it the same in the case of the Supreme Lord? So Ananta is a fraction of Balaram. So he's separated from Balaram. So now Balaram has become little less because Ananta has separated. No, my dear friend, you cannot calculate like that, says Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. You cannot calculate Amsha like that. Not like that. So for a devotee, it's just Ananta is a manifestation of certain portion of the Lord's potencies. So when a devotee sees Ananta, he's seeing his Lord, he's seeing Balaram. So when he sees Ananta, he calls him Balaram, and there's nothing wrong with that. And when he sees Balaram, he calls him Ananta, there's no problem with that either. Who says this? Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, Prithvi chaloho tumi Shweta Dvipe achi ami Balaram name sahodara Ananta Jahara Amsha Ekadasha Rudra Vamsha. So, these at the time of annihilation of this universe, Lord Shiva is Lord Shiva is his worshipable deity is Sankarshan, Lord Sankarshan. So at the time of annihilation of the universe, and it is said that, because those people who have not taken to transcendental life, who are simply absorbed in materialistic life, life after life after life, they're just absorbed in this, Lord Sankarshan becomes angry with them. Out of anger, he becomes angry. He becomes a little angry with them. Because you got this opportunity. You got this human form of life. Use this form to come out of this mess, material existence. You're given so much help. Why don't you take it seriously? In spite of that, you don't take it. So he becomes angry. So from his forehead comes Rudra. Right? Along Lord Shiva comes from his forehead. And Balaram, Sankarshan inspires Lord Shiva to destroy, because he's angry, destroy this universe. So Lord Shiva comes along with his 11, the Rudras. And they just set fire to the whole universe first, like that. And then it is inundated, and in that way, annihilation takes place. So here in this verse, we are seeing glorification of Lord Balaram. Balaram Purnima is coming up. So this is the verse. Prithvi chaloho tumi Shweta Dvipe achi ami Balaram name sahodara Ananta Jahara Amsha Ekadasha Rudra Vamsha Seva Kore Mahesha Ishwar. And as I told you, if you go to the 17th chapter of the 5th canto, you will see the wonderful prayers of Lord Shiva to Lord Sankarshan. Revati Ramani Sange Achaye Vilasa Range Shira Jala Nidhi Mahimajhe Jata Avatara Hoy Sei Matra Sahai Age Kori Koro Nija Kaje. Revati Ramani Sange Achaye Vilasa Range. So Lord Balaram is performing Vilasa. He's performing wonderful loving pastimes with the beautiful Revati. Who is Revati? Lord Balaram's internal energy, his internal energy. So he is always performing wonderful pastimes. Revati Ramani Sange Achaye Vilasa Range Kshira Jala Nidhi Mahi Maje. Where does he stay? Kshira Jala means Kshirodaka, ocean, right? The milk ocean. Kshira Jala Nidhi Mahi Maje. That means it's an island, because this Shvetadvip is an island. That's why Mahi means earth. So island means piece of earth surrounded by land, by water, some liquid. So this Shvetadvip is an island surrounded by milk ocean. So the Lord is residing there. Kshira Jalanidhi Mahi Maje. He stays on an island in the midst of the milk ocean. Jata avatara hoy se matra sahay age kori karo nija kaje. So this is Gauranga Mahaprabhu speaking to Narad Muni. He said that I am residing in Shvetadvip, and there my name is Balaram, and Balaram is my brother. Okay. And his expansion is Ananta, and he is worshipped by Lord Shiva along with 11 Rudras. And he is always enjoying in the company of his consort Revati. And where is he? He is on the island of Shvetadvip, surrounded by the milk ocean. Jata avatar hoy, say matra sahai. All the avatars are actually coming from him. If you take within this universe also, through Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, all avatars are coming, isn't it? All the Leela avatars, Yuga avatars, Manvantara avatars, Shaktavesh avatars, all avatars. How are they coming? They're coming via Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. Through Kshirodakashaya Vishnu only, all these avatars are coming. Jata avatara hoy, say matra sahai. And if you want to take as Balaram, yes, from Balaram, everything, all avatars are coming. First Chaturvyuha, then Narayan, then another Chaturvyuha, Karanodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, and all the other avatars. So that way also, whether you take as Balaram or you take as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, all avatars are coming from him. And another important point, Age kori koro nija kaje. You know what he does? He helps me. Gaurang Mahaprabhu is saying, Lord Balaram helps me. Age kori karo nija kaje. So first he goes, before I go, he goes first and he does my work. So we see in the 10th canto, the Lord is telling Yogamaya, 10th canto, 2nd chapter, you will see. I will just quote that verse for you. Yes, 10:2-8, 10th canto, 2nd chapter, text 8. Devakya jathare garbham sheshakhyam dhama mamakam tat sannikrishya rohinya udare sanniveshaya. Within the womb of Devaki is my partial plenary expansion known as Sankarshan or Shesha. Without difficulty, transfer him into the womb of Rohini. So the Lord, this is after the 6 garbhas of Devaki were killed by Kamsa, the 7th baby. Now that is Balaramji. So the Lord is instructing Yogamaya to take Balaramji from the womb of Devaki and transfer him to the womb of Rohini. So, so here it is said that the Sesha incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead supports the entire universe. Yes, he's holding the universe above on his head. And the eternal mother of this incarnation is Mother Rohini. So the Lord is saying, who Krishna is telling Yogamaya, because I am going into the womb of Devaki, the Lord told Yogamaya, the Sesha incarnation has already gone there and made suitable arrangements so that I may live there. You understood? You understood the point? That means now, just like if your spiritual master is coming, then one of the senior disciples will go there and make all arrangements before spiritual master comes. Isn't it? His room and whatever arrangements need to be done, they are made. Like that, before Krishna comes, first Balaram will come and make all arrangements for Krishna to come. So if Krishna is going to come in the womb of Devaki, so to make all arrangements. Balaram comes first in the womb of Devaki, makes his bed and couch and everything ready for the Lord. So, and then after that, now for the Lord to come, the Lord is saying now, telling Yogamaya, now you move Balramji from here to Rohini. So then the Lord will come. But the point is, always Balaram goes first to make arrangements for Krishna to come. That's the point. Okay. आगे कोरी करो निज काजे. He goes first and does my work. 546. चलो चलो मुनि राजा गोचर करो हो काजा. कोही बे कोरिया परबंधा. निज निज अंश लोया पृथ्वी ते जन्म गिया. स्वनामा धर हो नित्यानंदा. So go, O Muniraj, O king amongst all the sages, munis, go. Gochara karaho kaj, kohibe koriya parabandha. So you go to Shvetadvip and tell Lord Balaram to make all arrangements for me. Tell him, go and tell him to make all arrangements for me. How? Nija Nija Amsha Loya, taking with him his expansions. Prithivite Janama Giya, he should appear, he should take birth on the earth. Swanama Dharaho Nityananda, and he should accept the name of Nityananda for himself. When he takes birth on the earth, he should call himself Nityananda, or he should Swanama Dharaho, matlab dharan karna hai. You take the name of Nityananda and you appear on the earth. Taking all your expansions, you take birth, you appear on the earth with the name of Nityananda. Like this, Gauranga Mahaprabhu is telling Narad Muni, you go and tell, give my message to Balaram. Tell him to make arrangements for me. He should take, along with all his expansions, he should take birth on the earth and with the name of Nityananda. Go to him, go, O king of sages, serve him and tell him these words. Acha, serve him bhi hai. Gochara karaho kaj. Okay, you go and serve him. And then you tell him these words. By your plenary expansion, take birth on earth and accept the name Nityananda. Anande Narada Muni Shuniya Thakura Vani. Hiya Sukhe Bole Hari Bola. So Narad Muni, when he heard this order from Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Anande, he became very blissful. And in great bliss, he said, Hari Bol. Yes. Then Kohaye Lochana Dasa, Edo Hara Sambhasha, Shuni Ute Ananda, Lola. And Lochandas Thakur is becoming so blissful hearing this. What? The Sambhashana, the conversation between Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Narad Muni. And just hearing this conversation between Narad Muni and Gaurang Mahaprabhu, Lochandas is becoming very blissful and he is also giving a benediction to others. Shuni Uthe Ananda Hilola. Whoever hears these words, whoever hears the conversation between Gaurang Mahaprabhu and Narad Muni, they will be tossed by the waves of bliss. Are you all getting tossed by the waves of bliss? Whoever hears these words will be tossed by waves of bliss. Then, this is the next song. Rana Charana Kamala, Rana Charana Kamala Boli Jana, Chalo Chalo Preme Bilao, Preme Jagat Matao Hai. So this is like the beginning, in the beginning verse of this song. So Narad Muni is saying, I will take shelter of the Lord's reddish lotus feet. Rana Charana, Raya, I think, Charana Kamala, Boli Jai. So he's saying, I am going to take shelter of the lotus feet, the reddish lotus feet of the Lord. I'm going to take shelter of the reddish lotus feet of the Lord, like this. Singing like this, he's going. Chalo, chalo, preme bilao, preme jagat matao hai. Go, go. And then what is Mahaprabhu saying? Go, go, go. Narad Muni, go. Preme bilao. Preme jagat matao hai. Go, go and freely distribute ecstatic spiritual love. I will make the world wild with ecstatic love. So in this verse, you see both. What is Narad Muni saying? He's singing, I'll get the shelter of the Lord. And what is Gaurang Mahaprabhu saying? Go, 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 Narad Muni, go and freely distribute prema. I am coming, right? I will make the world wild with ecstatic love. नारदे विदाय दिया बोसिला ठाकुर, नहीं, नारदे विदाय कैसे होता है दिस ट्यून? आई फॉरगॉट सिंगिंग दैट वन, आई फॉरगॉट दिस. नारदे विदाय दिया बोसिला ठाकुर, आपना अंतर कथा तुलिला अंकुरा. So bidding farewell to Narada, the Supreme Lord sat down. So now Narad Muni left blissfully. Hari bol ke chale gaye. Narad Muni left. Then after Narad Muni left, Narad Muni vidaya diya. So Mahaprabhu said goodbye to Narad Muni. Vidaya diya, unko bhej diye. Narade vidaya diya, Bosila Thakur. Then Mahaprabhu is sitting down. Apana antara kotha tulila ankur. Within himself, he got there sprouted a thought in his heart. Ankura means sprout. Huh? So something came up in his mind. What it is, you will see in the next session. Okay? Bidding farewell to Narada, the Supreme Lord sat down. Then a thought sprouted in his heart. So that's the end of today's session. I apologize for the extra time that I took. Thank you all so much. श्री चैतन्य मंगल की जय, श्री ललोचन दास ठाकुर की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समानित गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. हरे कृष्ण.
Jai. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much Mataji. A very, very nectarian, beautiful class. And so surprisingly, Balram Purnima is arriving and the Lord's arrangement, he made us start hearing about his glories right from the beginning of the
All
week.
glories to Kirtida Mataji. She gave me this service and I was also very happily surprised that I got to say something about Lord Balaram by her mercy.
Jai. And we were all blessed, Mataji. You asked us if we are all drowning in bliss. I'm not so advanced, but yes, definitely. Definitely the pastime was so beautiful and you were narrating it so beautifully. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. That is the blessing of Lochandas, Srila Lochandas Thakur. He said, anyone who hears this conversation between Narad Muni and Gaurang Mahaprabhu, they will be tossed by the waves of bliss.
Jai, Jai. Yes, thank you, Mataji. Thank you for giving this class. And lots
Thank
of devotees. Oh, sorry, Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you so much. Mataji, you are telling me that it's my mercy. Actually, it's the other way around. You were
No.
showering mercy through your beautiful class. And first of all, really, really grateful to you that last minute you accepted to give class. So that itself is, very nice. And we are really indebted to this because last minute speaker finding out, and then I was pinging you in the middle of the night and still you responded. Glories to your services, Mataji. It's your mercy that we got to hear about Lord Balaram from you. And very nicely, you have set up the mood for all of us for the upcoming Balaram Purnima. And I'm pretty sure the entire week will be the glories of Lord Balaram.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. The class was very wonderful, as usual, the way you explained and the way you went deep into the topics, especially about talking about the different dharmas, and everything was mind-blowing, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. Thank you. So if there are no questions, then should we?
Yes, Mataji. Lots of messages in the chat. Vasundhara Mataji is glorifying you so beautifully. She says everything about you. She eagerly waits to hear Katha from you. The way you talk, the way you take us through the details is mesmerizing. Language, choice of words, tone. Jai, beautiful Mataji. Thank you so much. And yes, Mataji, many devotees are thanking you. And yes, Mataji, will not hold you longer with your
Sudhakar Prabhu is raising his hand.
Oh,
I think he
okay,
has a
okay.
question.
Sudhakar Prabhu, do you have time, Mataji?
Yeah, it's okay.
Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Full class, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I know it is late. I'll just put my question simple. Maybe I didn't understand. Maybe you can clarify. In the past, like in 536, I think, Naradji says, right, I've not seen such a form like this. I've never heard of this form like this, Prabhu. He was describing the Gaurang Prabhu, right? Correct me, Mataji, like when we go back, the starting of the Narad
got
has already
darshan in
seen this form,
Dwarka.
right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Dwaraka. So why was that? I'm not questioning, but I'm just trying to
No,
know what
it's
is.
valid question, and that came to my mind also. And the way I resolved it is he's talking about Gauranga Mahaprabhu's form. So that is the same person, right? He got darshan of Gauranga Mahaprabhu
Yeah,
only.
Gauranga
So
Prabhu,
no
and
other
then
form, no form like Gauranga Mahaprabhu's form. He's never seen or heard anything like Gauranga Mahaprabhu's form. So what he saw was Gauranga Mahaprabhu, not anything like Gauranga Mahaprabhu. You understand?
not really. Sorry, what
No.
is not the same. He
It's
got a
like
different feeling.
a different feeling means, of course, certainly he got a feeling that, you know, but he's also in a different, yeah, I shouldn't say that. But my understanding is he's seeing Gauranga Mahaprabhu and he's seeing, see, if you see the subsequent verses, that's why when you see the context, then you will understand the mood. What are the subsequent verses saying? That nobody can know you, not Lord Brahma,
Yes.
the demigods, nobody can know you. So he's talking about the Supreme Lord, about Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and he's saying, I have not seen any form like this before. That means any form which is equal to Gauranga Mahaprabhu's form. There is no form like Gauranga Mahaprabhu's form. He's seen Gauranga Mahaprabhu, but he didn't see
Yeah.
anything which is like Gauranga Mahaprabhu before,
Okay.
like that.
Yeah. One more question on the same subject, Mataji. I also had the same doubt that as we learned that nobody can understand God, right? That is, you mentioned inconceivable and infallible. Just curiosity, even is it my understanding right that even the avatars of the Lord cannot understand Lord Krishna, right? Somewhere, I don't know, some maybe if I heard or some other Prabhu's class or something, or even Balram in his Leela, he says, I can't understand Krishna,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So is it my understanding right that even his
Right.
expansions cannot understand
I cannot understand means
fully? Yeah.
nobody is, in other words, Krishna can even bewilder Balaram, but Balaram cannot bewilder Krishna.
Yes, yeah, it is other. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yes.
Even
And
the
why
starting.
he will do so, that then we cannot say that means then the avatars and the conditioned souls, the way conditioned souls cannot understand the Lord, that's how avatars also cannot understand the Lord. That conclusion shouldn't be made. Here the thing is, for the sake of pastime, the Lord, because it is him only, after all these avatars are not like some other personality. Simultaneously, they're different, but also it's him only. It's manifestation of his energy to different degrees that appears in different avatars. So these avatars are also him only, actually. But still, when in that form, he covers them with some, for the sake of pastime. So while dealing with him, so in that Brahma Vimohan Leela, during that Brahma Vimohan Leela, even Balaramji was not aware that all these calves and cowherd boys, they were Krishna. He was also going and playing, but actually it was Krishna with whom he was playing as his friends and as his calves. He was not aware. Only towards the end of that year, one day he noticed a peculiar event, and then he realized, what is this? So yes, and Balram is thinking, oh, is this my Lord's Maya? Like that.
Yes. That Leela, even Yashoda also felt that even the gopis, why they are behaving differently, because after that Leela, we learned from another Prabhu that those days Lord Krishna gave the full ecstasy love to all the gopis and and they were
Cows,
experiencing different love. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Sorry it was late. I thank you for your kind time.
No problem. Thank you for your questions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Mataji, with your permission, we'll end the call, no?
Yes, and I want to thank all the devotees for your wonderful support and all the comments. Thank you so much. Yes, Mataji.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय
जय,
जय
मंगल की जय, श्री
जय
श्यालोचन दास ठाकुर की जय, श्री
जय
पाद की जय,
जय
भक्ति माता जी की
Thank you,
जय।
जय हरे कृष्ण माता जी, थैंक यू
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
माता जी as usual.
Thank you, dear devotees, for joining us. See
हरे
you all.
कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, ending the